Today's Bible lesson is found in the book of Daniel in chapter 5. In the great empire of Babylon, after King Nebuchadnezzar's reign, Belshazzar became the king. Belshazzar made a great feast for 1,000 of his lords, and he drank wine in their presence. While he was drinking, he issued a command.
Bring the gold and silver vessels that King Nebuchadnezzar took from the temple in Jerusalem.
Then they brought the gold vessels that had been taken from the temple of God, which had been in Jerusalem. And the king and his lords, his wives, and the concubines drank from them. They drank wine and praised the gods of gold and silver, bronze and iron, wood and stone.
Praise to the God of gold.
Praise to the God of gold.
Praise to the God of silver.
Praise to the God of silver.
Praise to the God of bronze and iron.
Praise to the gods of bronze and iron.
Praise to the gods of wood and stone.
Praise to the gods of wood and stone.
In the same hour, the fingers of a man's hand appeared and wrote opposite the lampstand on the plaster of the wall of the king's palace. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. Then the king's countenance changed, and his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his hips were loosened and his knees knocked against each other. The king spoke to all the wise men of Babylon.
Bring in the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers.
The king's wise men came, but they could not read the writing or make known to the king its meaning.
Me, TKLU far sin. I haven't got a clue.
Yeah, me neither. Really beats me.
Well, that's what's gonna happen. The king will beat you.
Ha!
Whoever reads this writing and tells me its interpretation shall be clothed with purple and have a chain of gold around his neck, and shall be the third ruler in the kingdom.
The queen came to the banquet hall, and she offered a possible solution.
O king, live forever. Do not let your thoughts trouble you. There is a man in your kingdom that has the spirit of the holy God. King Nebuchadnezzar made him chief of the magicians, astrologers, Chaldeans, and soothsayers. He understands dreams and riddles. His name is Daniel. King Nebuchadnezzar called him Belteshazzar. Now let Daniel be called, and he will give the interpretation.
Daniel was brought in before the king.
Are you that Daniel who was one of the captives of Jerusalem? I've heard of you, that the Spirit of God is in you, and that you have light and understanding and wisdom in you. Now my astrologers and wise men have been brought before me, but they cannot give an interpretation of this writing. If you can read it, you shall be clothed in purple and have a chair of gold around your neck. If you can read it, you shall be clothed in purple and have a chain of gold around your neck.
Let your gifts be for yourself, and you can give your reward to someone else. But I will read the writing to the king and tell you what it means.
Daniel reminded King Belshazzar that King Nebuchadnezzar was a powerful king because God allowed him to become powerful. But when Nebuchadnezzar became too proud, God humbled him. Daniel 5:21 records more of what Daniel says to the king. Then he was driven from the sons of men. His heart was made like the beast, and his dwelling was the wild donkeys. They fed with grass like oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till he knew that the Most High God rules in the kingdom of men, and appoints over it whomever he chooses.
But you, Belshazzar, have not humbled your heart even though you knew all of this. You have gone too far by drinking from the sacred vessels from the temple. You have praised the gods of silver and gold, of bronze and iron, of wood and stone, which do not see or hear and know, and the God who holds your breath in his hand and owns all your ways you have not glorified.
Whew, those were some pretty strong words that Daniel told King Belshazzar. Daniel then told the king what the writing meant.
Meeny, meeny, tekel, upharsin. God has numbered your kingdom and has finished it. You have been weighed in the balances and found wanting. Your kingdom has been divided and given to the Medes and Persians.
Clothe Daniel in purple and put a gold chain around his neck.
Hi, Granny.
Hi, Benny. Are you still learning about Daniel?
Yeah, and I have another question for you.
Okay.
When Daniel interpreted King Belshazzar's dream, he said, "You have been weighed in the balances and found wanting."
Weighed in the balances.
Yeah, and found wanting. What does that mean?
Well, it would probably be best if I show you on my new gadget.
New gadget.
My kitchen pop-up laptop.
Sure, Granny.
Just watch now. Step back. A little more. Okay. Hey, computer, you can pop up now.
Wow, that's amazing. When did you get this?
A few days ago. Isn't technology great?
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Okay, Benny, how do you weigh?
About 65 pounds.
Not how much do you weigh, but how do you weigh?
Oh, well, I step on a scale and it tells me how much I weigh.
Well, the very first kind of scales were a balance scale. Hey, computer, show a balance scale. This is a balance scale. When it is in perfect balance, both sides are even.
Okay, I think I get it.
It's like a teeter-totter.
A teeter-totter.
Yeah. Computer, show a teeter-totter.
Oh, seesaw.
When I was a young girl, we had teeter-totters on the school playground. I had a friend named Jane, and she and I would teeter-totter a lot. We would go up and down for a while, but we really liked to try to make it balance, so neither one of us was touching the ground.
Man, that sounds like you had a lot of fun.
Yes, but it was not much fun if someone weighs a lot more than the other person. Computer, show the other teeter-totter picture. This one is a boy and his dad. The dad will use his legs to let the boy go up and down, but that boy is never going to make his dad's side go up. He needs more weight. Maybe he wants his brother to join him on his own side. That boy does not weigh enough and he wants help. Just like Belshazzar, he's being weighed in the balance of whether he's a good king or not, and he was found wanting.
That makes sense.
Computer, down.
Man, I'm really impressed.
That computer is something special, isn't it?
Well, sure, but I meant I'm impressed by you. You amaze me,
Aw.
Granny.
That's a mighty nice thing to say to your old granny. I love you, Beanie.
I know, but I like hearing you say it.
Woohoo, hey! Do you know the Belshazzar song?
I think so.
Well, I'll start it, and if you know it, just join right in. If not, the words are down there.
Oh, okay.
A king named Belshazzar was foolishly bold. He drank from the vessels, God's vessels of gold. This king named Belshazzar was so full of pride, but what he saw scared him. He trembled inside. He saw a handwriting up there on the wall. His knees knocked together, I'm sure he did fall. The king called for Daniel, please read this for me. He said to Belshazzar, your history. The one who comes humbly is really quite smart, who's broken in spirit and contrite in heart. But those who are prideful, God's judgment they'll see. Don't be like Belshazzar, he's history.